Hello and welcome to another update video on Link. So Link has followed the projected wave count pretty well over recent weeks. We've been expecting lower prices. The price has now reached the support area, our wave 2 support area, and we have already seen a first reaction to that wave 2 support area, which is exciting. So we might have already bottomed, but expectations currently are that we might still see another low actually before we form a low. But as you know, the microstructures are not so important in these corrections. What is more important is, do we actually hold key support? And it's nice to see that the support area has been reached. Yeah. And we have already seen the first reaction. So the bulls are still there. Okay. For those of you who are interested in understanding how this can be traded, well, I often say that you can approach this with like a triangle shape position size management approach. So the first fib level could, or even above, you could start to accumulate in this pullback. Again, I'm not saying you should do that. I'm saying, how is it generally reasonable to scale into a position from an Elliott wave point of view? What is generally reasonable? What are the let's say, best practices that are shared in Elliott wave communities or among Elliott wave traders? And it is possible to say that, the triangle approach is probably one of the best methods to scale in. You start small, where the pyramid, the triangle is small. At the top, a small position, then you buy a little lower, a little larger, buy a little lower, a little larger, and then at some point you have to stop out, right? But it doesn't hurt that much because you have your largest position size where the stop is located. So it doesn't really hurt much. That would be the scaling in approach. And then you can, of course, trade the breakout in addition when we finally turn around. That way you're always positioned, even if it turns around early. I use these zones. So typically the assumption would be, the thesis is that the price turns around where we have the box. Okay, it's between 1142 and 1346. It is an overall bullish scenario, given that the rally from the April low is a 5-wave move, and we have a 3-wave pullback so far. We have landed in support, and this is the area where we're watching for reactions. So what else can I say? I mean, we have defined yesterday together this resistance area between $14.10 and $14.79. So if we get a break above this initial resistance area, and do I need to adjust it? Slightly. It's actually $14.75 to $14.02. If we get a break above resistance, a low might have formed already. It would be a bit early actually, so I'd like actually to see that one more low. If we are in this 4th wave, it should take a couple of days to develop, given that the wave 2 also took a couple of days. But overall, it's followed the ideal scenario nicely. You might remember just a couple of weeks ago, I highlighted that we are looking for lower prices. That's one of the updates I shared in our member area. So obviously what we share in our gold membership are the screenshots, the updates, as well as the live charts. And at the time, that was on the 15th of May, the communication was that either way, I expect lower prices in the coming weeks, right? And the price was still here around $16.17. We've now reached the lower box pretty much, which was already on the chart back then in this wave 2 correction. So Elliott wave is just great to get a good idea of reward and risk. And obviously you cannot predict every single wave, but it allows you to identify tendencies as well as the relevant parameters for a move. That's less prediction, that's more risk management and understanding the structures. Seeing the underlying order, which is always there in chaos. So, we are watching here for a corrective bounce now. I mentioned, I think yesterday, that we should see a corrective bounce over the weekend, like a wave 4. It's playing out right now. I see a little bit more upside momentum on some charts than you would normally expect in a wave 4 bounce. So I'm definitely watching if the prices of the crypto charts I'm tracking, if they break out above initial resistances, because if they do, then it could be an early indication that some kind of a low is in and maybe the structure is morphing. But if we see a proper 5-wave move up, then we might already be in the next breakout, which is fine because the support area was already reached. So that's the update on Link. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on X for additional updates in between videos, as well as mindset content and trading psychology content and much more. Also, if you're not aware yet, but today we had our member live stream, you can find the recording, which I've made available as an exception to everybody, so you can see what's going on during these live streams. A lot of people asked me. I've made that available, and you can find it here in the latest post on X, so check it out if you're interested. And yeah, the reason why I'm saying that is we had a lot of interesting setups today. I remember a few weeks back was quite depressing. Prices were coming down, so there was nothing bullish. Now we have proper setups across the sector. Always take them with a pinch of salt. They are altcoin setups, but still interesting developments. So keep you updated. Hope you liked it and enjoy your weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.